and used his private part to play on the keyboard. That's not even the problem. The crowd was saying, woo, woo. And I knew Satan has men. Oh. The problem is that God doesn't have enough. Satan. Those that have sold their soul to Satan, they live for his agenda. There's nothing you can do to convince them. They go to the Senate with his agenda. Did you see the UK Prime Minister? At the front of the government house, lit his candles, put his tokens. Camera was doing kya, 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 everywhere. In Nigeria, we have had someone as the number 2 person who was supposed to be a defender of the faith. But these 7 years have been one of the worst for the church. You know why? We don't raise warriors. We raise people who don't recognize that we are fighting. There's warfare. There's an attack on our doctrine. There's an attack on what is good, what is right. Big names are teaching relationships as if those of us that are old school, we are foolish people. Dating has entered into the church. You know what dating is? It's sampling. Are you tomatoes? That they go to market and say, I don't like this one. I don't like this one. I don't like this one. I don't like tomato. That we just date. I may be old school and I may be wrong, but I know the way of God. I may not know much, but I know that a man who is consecrated to God, he will give you a husband, give you a wife. We'll give you a wife. Those of us who prayed to hear God's voice, it's not outdated. God still speaks. The problem is that God knows that you will not obey. He knows you won't obey. So heaven is seeking to invade. Hell is seeking to invade. Hell was the one that fired the first shot. Hell invaded God's space where he had put his prized possession. And Satan ensured that he did that job himself. He didn't assign it to anybody. Because in warfare, you put your best foot forward. When you know that what you are going after is of prize value, you put your best forward. He wanted to guarantee that he derailed man, so that man will no longer pay allegiance to God. He will have man on his side, under his control. So Paul in Ephesians chapter 2 now tells us that there are certain individuals who have not come into salvation. He says there's a spirit at work in them. He's called the prince of the power of the air. There's no neutrality. If you don't have Holy Ghost, the prince of the power of the air is in charge. There's no neutrality.